Hi guys, so this is the whole series about the business communication course that I'm taking right now as an Trojan student, as a Troy student in University of Economic and Business. The lesson one, I will go right next to the learning outcome of the lesson one, what we will learn during the whole videos, and also to like sum up in the final things about what we have learned to show what is actually important for you to keep to retain after this video so that you can learn about it more precisely about it. So thank you, so stay tuned. Okay, so the lesson today, lesson one, will be about the workplace communications, which is really important. The learning outcome today is firstly to understand the importance of business communications in this challenging world, and also um, comprehending three main category of business communication. There are three main category of business communication, distinguish between formal and informal network, and solving problems by using business communication. It means that the applications of business communication in our daily life, our business environment, and and finally is the process of business communication. So first thing first is about the importance of business communication. So as you may know or as you may not, um, the communication, the business communication, and any type of communication is in this area is considered to be one of the most important soft skills in business that everyone should attain for themselves, uh, uh, equip themselves with those knowledge in order to be like easy to communicate with their teams, uh, easy to work with people, easy to like deliver and interpret your message, your your the things that you want to say in the most clearest way, and also coherent that to your subordinate or even the superior level, like the manager, for your manager. After communication, the following would be teamwork and analytical. So after you have a communication, you need to know how to work with teams, and also finally it's using your brain, using your great materials to like transfer those things, using analytical skill, academic skills to finally come up with the result, and then come back to talk with your team using communication. So it's kind of a loop, a cycle in every business should have, but to prioritize, communication should be in the first place. The second one will be teamwork, and the last one will be analytical. Well, um, yeah, it is important for both you and your business organization, because like if you cannot communicate well, the message, the result after your analytical process has been done cannot be processed by your superiors or your subordinate, may come in very bad results, and also reduce the productivity of the whole company, which will also low down your reputations, and also you don't want that, right? So yeah, and having a good business communication skills also can lead to an advance. You can consider it as an advancement in mostly everything you, if you understand the power of it. Like if you can use it completely like fluency, coherent, make that skill to become your one of your like trait, one of your trait, and it certainly will have you advancement in anything. Like you can communicate with any people, negotiating, um, bringing the benefits, create the win-win effect, and so on. So that is what the important of the business communication. The second part will be the potential communication challenges that in today business people may have to face with. The first thing is the expansion of media literacy. Media literacy, probably some of you guys don't know this term, but like media literacy is about your knowledge, your academic skills, about the media world. For example, like you see, you and your friends, you and your friends see, both of you see an ad about like a fast food like McDonald's or cheeseburger or something, but like one your friend only see it as a like normal commercial that people that talk about how delicious the burger is, and how they how they made it with what kind of ingredients and what and like how big it is, the price of it, like that is the view of a normal customer. However, the for example, if you like got like higher media literacy than him, you study about marketing, you are a student in that study in marketing major, then you will see the things differently with him. Because like for example, you look at the ad, you see that the same burger, the same size, the same price, but you also notice the emotion that the commercial, the TV commercial try to bring to the audience. Also like what what kind of products that they try to promote in that product line, and how people will, you will assume that how people like your friends gonna react to it. They will focus on what informations, is that a successful TVC or something. So that is the expansion of media literacy. Why it is one of the challenge, because like since the arrival of some communication tools like email, Outlook, mobile phone, social media, there's an so there's an emerging that every those communication tools are new to the previous generation, and even its effect to your generation as well, and and it will somehow like creating a kind of atmosphere that people start have to figure it out how to perform with it, how they can use the communication tools effectively. So that is a challenge in a business communication, that like 90% of the business right now, they use those communication tools. Therefore it is should be the responsibility of the manager to training their employee how to use those communication tools effectively, and also creating a kind of a cycle, a machine that can work without any slack time. Yeah. The second potential communication challenges is the increase of globalism and diversity. According to the panelists for several webinar on workplace trends, the emergence of global network teamwork is increasing daily, and it's also point out that the importance of creating a social network communication set of codes. So it's by the mean that, for example, because of the internet, because of this area 4.0, people around the world can work together. Even they don't have to need even for example, the easiest things you can see is multinational corporation like PNG, PNG Unilever, and so on. Therefore they have to communicate with each other through those communication tools like Skype, Skype, Viber, Hangout, Google Hangouts, and so on. So in order to like help the employee of each company, of each brand or each facility in a multinational corporations, people need to be like understand what they are doing, and they have to need the company needs to have a procedure to like processing all the informations into a pool of humans in interactions that help them to like interact with each other in the most effective way, that like bring that communication tools to be a benefit, not something that low down your productivity. So that is a challenge that the manager, the boss of each company, they have to face with. The third one is strong analytical and interpreting skills. This is like for many years, this is the basic challenge that any communication type of communication have to face with, in order to like adapt to this quickly changing business landscape. People need to be people need to be a person of people need to be an individuals that can process the not just process the information real quick, but also to analyze it, and later on it will interpret it to others to like implement those theory into work, like to walk the talk, but in the most effective way, and in the most easiest way, and in the shortest amount of time. Finally, it's about the final challenge that business communication may face is ethics and social responsibility. Some ethical scandal and social responsibility could have hurt many business. Like if you don't know about the business of each other of other countries, and you launch a product that, for example, it shouldn't be it shouldn't you shouldn't sell a goat or any products that made of goat in India, because there's some gods of them are goat. Therefore, some that is something that you have to note in mind, and also business communication need to be aware of this. So those are the potential communication challenges that that probably most of the business have to face, but they realize it or not? Do they realize it or not? It depends on them. Um, the next thing that I want to move in our learning outcome is about the three main category of communications. So in three main category of communication, we have we have actually we divide it into main parts, which is operational communication and personal communication. So what is operational in communications? Operational communication is include every every include every type of communication means of media that help the company to process their work, to continue to work on to generating profits. Therefore, it divided into two smaller parts, which are internal communication and external communications. So internal communication, we have internal upward communication, mean that all the type of communications that deliver to the from the subordinate to their manager to their superior. um, Internal downward communication, in contrast with internal the upward communication, it's the message or type of message in any type of deliberations from the superior to their subordinates. Internal lateral is the kind of normal conversation, using communication tools, many type of communication tools among those employee or those within a organization that has the same level of power to each other. The second part of operational communication in external communication. External communication is exactly what in its name say. It means that all type of communications that employees in an organizations, everyone in the organization is talking or communicating, negotiating with the clients, the supplier, to find a new potential potential product consumer and something and so on. um, so about personal communication is like something that it's it's personal. I don't know how to explain it in reality, but like personal communication, it means that um, to like create a type of communication. For example, and the director of the company could send a thank you letter to uh, his supplier because of the goods provide is really good for them, and it really help the company to reach the sales target this month, for example. Or if an employee is being hired by the company, and he personally sent an sent an thank you letter for the HR person that directly hired them, directly interview him for letting him get the job. So those are personal communication. uh, so there are like 6 factors that you need to aware about your company, is that probably and that include that most of 6 factors will include the business communication. The first one is the customer. Of course, the customer mean the consumer, the business customer, and the government also, because you have to deal with tax, deal with paperwork, and so on. The second part is the public at large, and means the internet surfer, the social networker, the potential employee, potential investor, potential customer, and so on. The third one will be industry partners, is competitor, similar businesses, lobbyists, and so on. The fourth one will be regulatory agents, the government, trade alliance, union officials, national and international legal experts. The fifth one will be public groups, community groups, citizen groups, non-governmental groups, organizations, schools, and foundationals. Finally is core business partners, supplier, contract worker, manufacturer, shipper, distribution, and so on. So those are the elements that in a company that you have to communicate with. So that is the end of lesson 1. So firstly, to understand the important of busy, let me to sum up the whole lesson in a few words. In workplace communication, firstly is the importance of business communication. So communication is considered in this area is really important. It's really important skills that need to be attained, need to be learned by people, including from the lowest level to the highest manager, to in order to communicate, to interpret, to talk with people, to deliver your message in the most effective way and productive way. Um, the reason that they have to do it is because there's so many like potential challenges that business communication they have to face. The first one is, as we have mentioned, is about the expansion of media literacy, how people like will react to an ad. And since the arrival of those communication tools, business and organization they have to pay attention and to train the employee well, create a automate procedure for them to like follow to increase the productivity of the company. The second potential will be increasing globalism and diversity. So they same with the media literacy, because of geography, different geography, and people all around the world they all work together through communication tools like Skype, like Viber, like Google Hangout, and so on. They have to like being able know how to use the tools effectively. Third one will be strong analytical and interpreting skills. In not just like those communication tools does help you to interact, to communicate with people all around the world, but you each employee, each person in the company, if they want to like has a productivity has productivity in the company, they have to have strong analytical and interpreting skills that that enable them to adapt to the quickly changing business landscape, help them to like deliver the message in the most common way, in the most easiest way for them to know what they are doing, what they will receive, and so on. Finally, ethics and social responsibility. uh, some so business manager, business owner, they have to aware of this, and some ethical scandal and social responsibility have have occurred and hurt many business in the past. Therefore, they have to worry about their business, creating an ethic and social responsibility. Don't offend anyone, knowing the culture of each regions of each country before they launch something, launch any product or services. The three main category of communication, as I mentioned before: internal, divided in like operational communication and personal communication. Operational has two parts: is internal communication and external communication. Internal communication include the upward, the downward, and the lateral communication. The external communication is like talking with the core business partners, customer, clients, and so on. Personal communication is only served for personal purposes only. Like for example, as I mentioned, is a thank you letter from a new employees to the HR person that directly recruit him and and interview him in the past. So that is the end of the lesson 1 in business communication, BUS3382, by Nguyễn Công Thành, a Georgian student in Tech 15. Thank you. Peace.